now it's time to get into the top 10 potential free agent targets for the Raiders on the offensive side of the ball. The first guy I got up for you is a running back. His name is Jerick McKinnon, running back. He played for the Minnesota Vikings this past season. Now, the Vikings may be willing to let McKinnon walk in free agency with a loaded draft class at running back and Dalvin Cook and Latavius Murray still in Minnesota. He was an excellent receiver out of the backfield, catching 94 passes over the last 2 seasons. The Raiders already have Washington and Richard, but if Lynch doesn't return, the Raiders may look to go to a 3-headed running back approach. Next guy on the list, tight end, Trey Burton from the Eagles. He's an extremely athletic tight end and a very potent weapon in an offense. He's stuck right now behind current starter Zach Ertz in Philadelphia, but he proved how good he could be when Ertz was concussed earlier in the season, catching 5 passes for 71 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Rams. Jared Cook did lead the Raiders in yards with 688, but at age 30, the Raiders may turn to a younger, more talented tight end. Number 8, Sammy Watkins, wide receiver. Sammy Watkins was a bit of a disappointment in 2017, despite the Rams' offense setting franchise records. Watkins caught 39 passes for 593 yards and 8 touchdowns, which, if you would have told me the Rams would lead the NFL in scoring, I would have said those projections are a little bit low. Watkins, we know, is extremely talented and is only going to turn 25 in June. We shouldn't forget that he was the number 1 receiver drafted in the 2014 NFL Draft at the 4th overall pick, ahead of guys like Mike Evans, Odell Beckham Jr., and Jarvis Landry. The talent is there, guys, I'm telling you, and maybe Gruden and company could get his full potential out of him. Next guy on the list, number 7, running back, Carlos Hyde, San Francisco 49ers. For the first time in Hyde's career, the 27-year-old played in all 16 games of the season. Despite a career high in carries and yards, he experienced a career low and 3.9 yards per carry. Where Hyde really impressed me this season was his ability to be a weapon out of the 49ers backfield as a receiver, catching 59 passes for 350 yards. In his first 3 seasons combined, Hyde had only 50 catches. Hyde, if he could stay healthy, would be a great replacement for the Raiders and Lynch if the Raiders and Lynch decide to part ways. Next guy on our list is Juwan James, offensive tackle, played for the Dolphins last season. Miami, I think we could definitely say, was just an atrocious offense in general, and that offensive line was a big reason because of it. But I wouldn't blame James. He was one of the better right tackles in the NFL prior to landing on the injured reserve with a groin injury. He was excellent in pass protection, which the Raiders definitely need to protect Carr, and he's only going to be 26 in June. James could take over for Marshall Newhouse at right tackle since Newhouse struggled a little bit in 2017. So we're going to take a little break from those players. I want to hit you guys with some trivia. I want to see how much of a diehard Raider Nation I'm actually talking to here. What is the longest passing play in Raiders history? Is it A, 99 yards, B, 97, C, 93, D, 89? Put your comments or put your answer in the comments below. If you can't guess it, the answer is actually on my Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365. Now we're going into the next guy on the list, wide receiver Allen Robinson. So, Allen Robinson, this one's pretty interesting. There's a decent chance that Crabtree might not be back in 2018 with his contract at $7.69 million, which means Oakland might need another bigger receiver who could be productive on the outside. That is precisely what a wide receiver what Allen Robinson is, and he could bring to the Raiders in 2018. Robinson tore his ACL in 2017 and will enter the 5th year in the NFL at age only 24. Robinson had an incredible 2015, leading the NFL in touchdown receptions with 14. This guy is a big body receiver from Penn State, and I think he could be a solid guy on the outside for an Oakland Raiders team who needs a red zone threat. Moving into our next guy, Justin Pugh, offensive tackle. He played for the New York Giants this past year. The Raiders' right tackle position struggled this past season. Newhouse was signed to handle the role, but didn't fare well, and once Vadal Alexander filled in for Newhouse, he didn't play well either. Now, insert Justin Pugh, who will be one of the best blockers in the 2018 free agency class. The former first-round pick didn't have the best season in 2017, but that may be more to blame on the rest of the Giants' offensive line rather than Pugh. Next guy on the list is a wide receiver, and he's a pretty awesome name. Jarvis Landry, played for the Miami Dolphins. Landry would give Oakland a legitimate slot-size target that they could also move to the outside to let Amari Cooper run routes from the slot as well. Raiders wide receiver Seth Roberts has always struggled with drops and is a big-bodied, non-sudden target that seems ill-equipped for the slot receiver role. Meanwhile, Michael Crabtree was shut out twice, ejected once, and is coming off a season with the fewest total receiving yards of his career. During his 4 seasons with Miami, Landry averaged exactly 100 catches per year for a total of 400 catches, 4,038 yards, and 22 touchdowns. Number 2 on my list, Andrew Norwell, offensive guard. The offensive line is an area where Oakland needs to improve on, and Norwell figures to be one of the best interior linemen available and would be a great start at fixing that line. The Raiders would likely have to give him a sizable contract to get him, but if they decide to really address this need, he's the top of my list. Last guy up here, and he's certainly not the worst guy, unrestricted free agent LeVeon Bell, running back, Steelers. Many could argue that Bell is the best running back in the NFL, and if the Raiders decide to move on from Lynch, they may consider going with Bell. Now, Bell defines the word bell cow running back, carrying the Steelers' offense this past season with 406 touches in only 15 games. So, guys, I want to get your opinion. Which player do you think the Oakland Raiders have the highest on their priority? Is it Le'Veon Bell? Give me a heart. Norwell, like. Jarvis Landry, wow face. If you think it's somebody else, give me a laughing face. Put it in the comment below. Tell me who you think they should have. Guys, I want to say thank you very much, especially to my Raider Nation people. My name is Mitchell Renz. Please follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365. Please like Oakland Raiders by Chat Sports on Facebook so you know exactly when we go live.